doing in your costumes?
We're about to go across this godforsaken city, and we gonna fight whatever should be out there.
Let me ask you something. If somebody stole your favourite tank top, you'd think they're an arsehole, right? Well, good news. Because in Zombiecon Volume 1, that guy, he's now a zombie. So let's talk about Zombiecon Volume 1. So the story is, a group of cosplayers accidentally trigger a zombie apocalypse, where every asshole turns into a zombie. And they are forced to trek across a zombie-infested LA to save a loved one. Because nothing says I love you like fighting a zombie whilst wearing a Predator's costume, right? So what's it really about? Zombiecon Volume 1, believe it or not, is about family and how the people you surround yourself with are your family, become your family. How having shared interests such as cosplay, Comic-Con, pop culture in general, just being a nerd can bring people together and that bond. But at the end of the day, the moral of the story is, don't be an asshole. So let's get into the vibe. The movie is hilariously funny. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is exactly what you want from a low-budget comedy horror movie. So if you love pop culture, or zombie movies, or horror, or just comedy, I feel like this is for you. Like, on paper, I thought that's my cup of tea, right? And then after watching it, I'm like, yeah, 100%. That was a great low-budget movie. So this movie knows exactly what it is. It targets an audience and goes full steam ahead.
City, zombies.
And these stars had no problem committing. Like, the amount of blood those guys must have swallowed. I mean, if you ever think that how much is too much blood, the answer is, it's not enough. So as a fellow nerd, horror geek, pop culture geek, anything geek, I can respect what they were doing here. The characters are ridiculously relatable. I 100% think that you know somebody who is like one of these characters. And if there was a zombie apocalypse, how would they react? How would you react? The dialogue is packed with geek talk. Now, I know they're at an anime convention, right? But it's not just strictly anime. If you like any sort of pop culture, there is something in this for you. I mean, can you imagine the Green Power Ranger super kicking a zombie? Let's get into the music and style of Zombiecon Volume 1. Now, for me, it gave me that early 2000s pop punk energy. I feel like a lot of people who are into this sort of movie will enjoy. And it fits really well. It fits with the settings, the scenes. It just works. Let's get into the performances. Okay, so the acting across the board was great for the most part. Standout for me was the character Claire, played by Erin. I thought she did an amazing job. But like I said, the whole cast, like, really brought something to it. Like, there were scenes that were funny from every character. There wasn't just one, like, comedy relief character, right? It was literally, you would laugh at one person, then every single character was likable. And then if something was to happen to them, you would feel upset. Like, you would feel something, which is always good when you're watching a movie like this. Another thing that's a big win for me is practical effects. Oh my god, I am loving the resurgence in practical effects. Low budget or big budget, give me practical effects. I don't care if you think it looks fake, I prefer it. It's so much better than CGI. Don't get me wrong, there's been some good CGI, but I feel like the early 2000s CGI was a lot better than the CGI we're getting these days. That being said, the gore is fun. It's messy, it's charming, it's the low budget horror way. Like, oh, shades of the 80s, man. So let's get into a couple of negatives. Now, let's be honest, nothing's ever perfect. So I'm not nitpicking, I promise. I'm not a Reddit thread, okay? Some of the darker lit shots, it was hard to see. I mean, I know this is low budget, so you've got to benefit of the doubt. Like, I mean, there's been big budget films. I'm looking at you, Alien vs Predator Requiem. So some of the darker lit scenes, especially when they're outside, it is kind of hard to gauge what's going on. And the only other thing other than that would be a negative is probably the sound mixing can jump a bit. I've noticed when the music kicked in, sometimes the music was really loud and you couldn't hear what the actors were saying, or in certain scenes, like one actor would be speaking and you can't hear him. When they've had to use voice effects, I couldn't understand what they were saying, to the point where I did have to put the subtitles on. For it was one scene. I mean, come on, like, it does not take you out of the movie at all, in any way, shape or form. So, final thoughts. It delivers exactly what it intended to. You got zombies, you got cosplay, you got pop culture references, you got buckets and buckets and buckets of blood, you've got the pop punk vibes. This movie tells us that it's okay for you to be yourself, and as long as you're a good person at heart, you're trying your best. My rating for this is, I'm giving it a good 3 out of 5. Like, I'm quite picky with my stars, but I would 100%, if this was a physical copy, that would be straight on my shelf, and it is definitely worth a rewatch. I would say go out, find it. I will leave the trailer link below. And I'd just like to say thank you so much to Erin, one of the actresses in the movie. She sent me this private screener, and I couldn't be more happy with it. Like, it was an absolute brilliant movie. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you guys and what's next. As far as I know, there's another movie coming out by the same director called It's Watching, so I will 100% be looking out for that. And yeah, check it out, guys. See you later.
Join us